Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're a new viewer, hello, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. This is an unusual video for me as it is a bookish video first of all, so if you're here for craftiness, I'm sorry, this is a bookish video. This is a list of my series about series lists. A list? Okay, that doesn't make sense. Anyways, I found out how to do screen capture. I don't know how to make it so that my video shows while I'm talking, but I can record it on the audio, so that's what I'm doing. I hope you don't mind. This was a concept. Series about series is a concept that came about from Elizabeth at Lizzie Loves Books. I will link her announcement video for 2022 in the description box below. I'm sorry, I'm really tired. So she came up with this last year. It's called Series About Series Read Along, hashtag Series About Series. And last year, which was this year, 2021, because I'm making this in November, the end of November, she came up about this because she wanted to work on her series. She's a series reader and she wanted to get serious about her series. So she made a list of 21 series that she wanted to continue on and hopefully finish. And she did really good on it. She finished quite a few. So if you aren't subscribed to Lizzie's channel, I would very much recommend it. So again, I will link her announcement video for Series About Series 2022 in the description box below. But for next year, she decided to make 2 lists of 20 and 1 list of 2 to make it 2022. So she did say what she was going to do. I changed it up a bit, and she did say that we can change it to make it fit however way we want. So my list of 20, the first list of 20 is a series of books that I want to work on. So it's all series. Most of them are cozy mysteries or middle grade. And I'm sorry if you can hear the plane. They're all series that I want to continue on, not necessarily finish or catch up on, but continue on. So I would like to read at least 2 books of each series. So I'm going to go through all my lists with you, and hopefully you can see it. So the first one here is the Lensel Mysteries by Donna Andrews. This is a cozy mystery series about a lady named Meg Lanslow who is a blacksmith, and she has a large family who are hilarious, and I love Meg Lanslow as a protagonist. She is funny, she's down to earth, and she's wonderful. So this cozy mystery series is about Meg, who solves mysteries that happen, and a lot of times they involve animals. So all her books have something to do with an animal in the title, and I'm loving it. It is an excellent series. I listen to it on audio mostly, and I laugh out loud at the series. I listen to it at night, and a lot of times I'll laugh out loud. So I would recommend this series to anybody. Those cozy mysteries and a bit of humor in them. And yeah, I want to continue with that. I would say that this is probably my favorite mystery series right now to date. I know a lot of times I say that Laura Child's Tea Shop Mysteries is my favorite, but I think right now Meg Lanslow is topping it. So next we have Caravel by Stephanie Garber. Caravel is a young adult series, and it is about two sisters in the first book, Caravel, 2 sisters who go to this magical game called Caravel, and it's got magic and danger, and one of the sisters has to rescue the other sister, and they have to play the game to rescue her, and there's danger and the magic, and it's like a circus, but in the circus type thing, things seem real that aren't real, and it's an amazing book. I am on the 3rd book of this trilogy called Finale. I haven't finished reading it, and I do want to read that book. I want to start from the beginning of that book and read it. Because I started it a few months ago. I never finished it just because I got reading other books, not because I didn't like it. And Stephanie Garber did have a new book come out this year called Once Upon a Broken Heart, and it is kind of the companion book to this series, so I want to read those 2 as well, and any others that she may come out with this year in that world. Next, we have Peter and the Starcatchers. This is a Peter Pan retelling, a middle grade Peter Pan retelling. And the first book I am currently reading, and there is, I believe, 5 or 6 books in the series. It's a completed series, so I'm hoping to finish the entire series this year. I forget who wrote this. I don't have the author down here. I apologize. It's 2 authors, and anyways, it's a wonderful series. I'm enjoying it. I don't like the original Peter Pan. I don't like the movies, but I do like this series, and the first book is about how Peter Pan came to Neverland and how he met Captain Hook and all that. It's really interesting. I'm loving it, so I do want to finish that series. Next, we have Frostheart by Jamie Littler. This is another middle grade. If you watch How to Train Your Gavin, his channel, his YouTube channel, he loves this series, and there are 3 books in the series so far, and I have 2 of them at my library, and I have 2 of them, both of them signed out right now, so I'm hoping to read them soon. But I do want to read all 3 books, and Frostheart is about a boy named Ash who lives in a winter world kind of thing where it's always winter, and he can sing to these monsters. He can communicate with these monsters, so people think that he's kind of a bad person because he can communicate with them. So he gets thrown out of the world, and he goes on this long trip with his Yeti bodyguard, kind of guardian kind of guy, and they go and I believe they try and find his parents who were lost. I'm not sure exactly what happens, but I'm liking it so far. I've only read a couple chapters, but I'm liking it, and like I said, there's 3 books in the series so far. Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Austen. I just have Amari here because I don't know what the series is called. But I have read the first book, Amari and the Night Brothers. It was a wonderful book. It's about a little girl named Amari who her brother went missing, and she kind of finds out that her brother was a detective kind of guy for an investigator for supernatural, and he went missing while on the job, and before he went missing, he made it so that she could go to the school that he went to learn to be an investigator. I don't know if it's called investigator, but so she goes to this magical school, and she's trying to find her brother. It was an amazing book. I loved it. It was so good, and I totally recommend it. Again, that's a middle grade, and the second book has just come out this year, so I'm looking forward. I believe it comes out this year. Might be next year it comes out. Murder, She Wrote by Jessica Fletcher and other authors. One of the other authors is Donald Bain. There are, I believe, John don't remember who else, but there's different authors that write under Jessica Fletcher. And if you don't know what Murder, She Wrote is, was originally a TV show in the 90s, and the late 80s, I think it started, and then the 90s and early 2000s. And it went on for 12 seasons on TV, and I watch this series all the time. It's my favorite TV show. It's my comfort show. I know all the episodes off by heart, but I still watch it. And there is a book series out where it's a modernized version of the series. It's not the same stories as the show, so you don't have to worry about that. It's new murders, and so Jessica Fletcher is the main character, and she is a writer. That's why it says it's by Jessica Fletcher. The Murder, She Wrote books are by Jessica Fletcher because she is a mystery writer in the series, and she solves murders, and she's wonderful. It's a cozy mystery. I love it, and I want to read more of that series. I have read quite a few of them, but I want to read more. Next, we have a Wishcraft mystery by Heather Blake. I've only read 1 book by Heather Blake in the Wishcraft mystery series. I'm really enjoying it, though. The Goodbye Witch is the one I read, and that was kind of a sad book. It's a mystery book. It's a cozy mystery series. The one I read, The Goodbye Witch, had quite a few sad parts in it, and I did really enjoy it, but I want to read more of this series to see if I enjoy it. A wishcrafter is like a witch who grants wishes. So if somebody wishes something, they make it true. It's a great book. I did enjoy The Goodbye Witch. I would like to read more of that series. And Heather Blake does have a couple of other series out to do with witches. So if I don't like the Witchcraft Mysteries series, I can try another one of her series. But I do think I like the Witchcraft Mysteries. Again, I've only read one of them, so I'm not sure, but I would like to continue on with that series. Next, we have Eva Evergreen by Julie Abe. Eva Evergreen is a middle grade, and the first book is called Eva Evergreen and the Semi-Magical Witch. Eva is the main character. She is a little girl who is training to be a witch, and she's got a lot of people against her, and she goes to try to prove herself and help a little town as kind of a trial to see if she can actually become a witch. It was a cute book. I really enjoyed it. It was funny. It was sad. It was beautiful. It was everything. I loved it. Again, it's a middle grade. If you like Kiki's Delivery Service, you would probably like Eva Evergreen. The second book, I believe, came out this year. It might come out next year, but it's coming out soon if it hasn't come out. And I forget what it's called, but it's Eva Evergreen and something. And I would like to read that one. And if they come out with a new one next year, I'd like to read that one as well. Number 9 is the Sherlock Holmes Bookshop Mysteries by Vicki Delaney. This is another cozy mystery series, and I forget who the main character is, but she owns a Sherlock Holmes bookshop, which is basically has all the rare books of Sherlock Holmes, has all the Sherlock Holmes books, has all the puzzles and trinkets to do with Sherlock Holmes. It's like a tourist trap, basically, and it has to do with Sherlock Holmes. And she solves mysteries. She comes upon bodies, as one does, and she's very fun to read about because she's a lot like Sherlock Holmes. In fact, in the book, it's said that she is a descendant of Arthur Conan Doyle. So her uncle says they are related to him, but she doesn't know for sure. So this series is very good. I've read 2 books of this series. I would like to read more. There's a new one in the series coming out this year, I believe. So and I do want to read the backlist. I believe there's 5 or 6 out. 5 I think out in the series. So I'd like to read that. The Booktown Mystery by Laura Barrett. This is another cozy mystery series. It is about a lady, I forget her name again, but she owns a bookstore, and it's just a really wonderful series. I've read quite a few of the series. I've listened to the audiobooks, and I would like to continue listening to them. So if there's any more coming out next year, there should be, because I believe there's one coming out every year, so I want to read that. Next, we have the Truly a Devious Mystery by Maureen Johnson. This is a YA mystery series. Now, the first trilogy I have read, and that was the Truly Devious trilogy. And now they have a companion trilogy, which is just called Truly a Devious Mystery. So the first book in that trilogy was The Box in the Woods, and it has the same characters, but it's a different mystery and overarching theme through the trilogy. So I'd like to read the next 2 books when they come out. I believe the next book is coming out next year, so I'd like to read that. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is I believe it's going to be a trilogy. I'm not sure. But I have to read the 3rd book in that series, and this is a YA thriller mystery series. The first book is about I forgot to tell you what the Truly Davis is about. That's about a girl named Stevie who goes to a elite school created by a rich and entitled man many, many years ago, like 100 years ago, and I think it was 80 years before. And when the school was first created, there was a mystery. Some people went missing. A murder happened. And Stevie is in the present, and she gets an opportunity to go to that school. So she goes there, and she tries to solve the murder and the old mystery. And along with it comes a new mystery. And it was a great series. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is another YA mystery series, murder mystery. I enjoyed the first two books. Now, just a heads up, there are quite a few cursing in the book, or cussing, swearing, a lot of F-bombs. I did enjoy the series. It's very fast-paced. There's a lot of twists and turns that you don't expect. I did read the first two books, and I want to read the third one. But yeah, there are quite a bit of swears in this book. But I did enjoy it, and I do want to read the third book. It just came out. It's called As Good as Dead. Next, The Inheriting Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I've only read the first book. The second book has come out just recently, and it's called The Hawthorne Legacy. I want to read that one and any books coming after that. Number 14, The Tea Shop Mysteries by Laura Childs. As I said in the beginning, this was originally my favorite series. I believe the Meg Lensel mysteries have topped that now. I'm sorry if you could hear people outside. There's people outside talking. Next, we have Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. That is a middle grade about a girl named Morgan Crow. And the first book is called Nevermore, the Trials of Morgan Crow. And she is a cursed child, and she is said to die on her 11th birthday. And when she turns 11, she's expecting to die, and all of a sudden, Jupiter North comes and takes her to this fantastical world where she wants to join into a Wondersmith society. The world has, it's much like Alice in Wonderland. It's compared to Harry Potter. And there's a talking cat, a large talking cat. There's there's wonderful things about this series. And in the first book, she goes through a competition to get part of the Wonders Society. And in the second book, she goes to magical school. So like Harry Potter, it's very interesting. And I do have to read the third book still, called Hollowpox. So I would like to read that. And I believe there's a fourth book coming out as well. Pages & Co. by Anna James. Pages & Co. is a middle grade as well. It is about the first book is called Tilly and the Book Wanderers. And I read the first three books. The fourth one is coming out or just come out, I'm not sure. And Pages & Co. is a series about Tilly, who, or Matilda, who finds out that her family are book wanderers, and she can go into books and hop into books and become part of the story and see the characters and the lands. And in the first book, she realizes that her mother had gone missing, and so she goes in the books to try and find her. It's a wonderful series. I love it. It's fun, and I have to read the fourth book. Next is the Being Jane Austen Mysteries. That series, I started book one. I never finished it, not because I wasn't enjoying it. So this is by Stephanie Barron, I believe, and I would like to read this series and do a theme video about it. So there's like 20 books in the series, I think, and it's all about I believe it actually is Jane Austen. The character is supposed to be Jane Austen, who solves mysteries. And I would love to read that. So I want to start and get going on that series. Next, we have Anne of Green Gables by Lucille Montgomery. If you know that Anne of Green Gables is my favorite book of all time, I've read it a few times. I would like to read the whole series again. And I never did read the last two books in the series, so I'd like to start from the beginning and read the whole series. So if you don't know what Anne of Green Gables is about, it is about a girl who with bright red hair who is an orphan, and she goes to a brother and sister, an older couple that's a brother and sister, not a couple, but a brother and sister who live together. They send to adopt a boy to help them with their farm in Prince Edward Island, and instead Anne gets sent. And so it's all about her life and her trials. It's a hilarious book. I love that story, so I'd like to read that whole series. Next we have Sky Without Stars series. Now there is another name for the series. I forget what it's called, but it's by Jessica Brody and Joanne Rendell. This series is a I believe, going to be more than a trilogy. I'm not sure. But the third book is out. And it is it's a hard book to explain. They are chunky books. And it's kind of like Les Mis in space, and it's a retelling of Les Miserables in space. And I love that series. I've read the first book. I started the second book. I do have the ebook of it. I never finished it, and I do believe I have the third book as well. So I want to read those. Jessica Brody is a wonderful writer, and so is Joanne Rendell. I'm enjoying the series very much. And number 20, I want to read all of the Grishaverse by Leah Bardugo. So that includes the Shadow and Bone trilogy, the, what's the second one? Not Crooked Kingdom is the second one in that duology. What's the first one? I forget what the first book is. Oh, six, something about six. Six of Crows, that's it. Six of Crows, and the other one I just said, Crooked Kingdom. And then there's another duology after that, the King of Scars duology. So I like to read all of those, and I just put that in as one because I really want to read them. I hear that a lot of people like them, a lot of people don't. I don't know. I've never watched the adaptation on TV. I would like to watch the adaptation after I finish reading them all. I have read Shadow and Bones, the first book. I did enjoy it, and I would like to read more, so I'd like to read all of them. Okay, so the second list is authors I want to read more of, so I'm going to go through this real quickly. List number 2 is Erin Morgenstern. The only book I haven't read of hers is The Night Circus, which I do want to read, and hopefully she'll come out with a new one this year. I'm not sure. I have read The Starless Sea, but I loved it, and I want to read The Night Circus. Next is Amari Towles. So Amari Towles wrote The Lincoln Highway, and I believe he's written more than that. And I just want to read his books. I've heard he's really good. So I believe it's a man. I'm not even sure if Amari is a man or a woman, but I think it's a man. And I want to read some of his works. Next is Delia Owen. She wrote When the Crawdads Sing. Where the Crawdads Sing. I want to read that and anything else that she has. Antoine de Saint wrote The Little Prince. I would like to read that and any other book he wrote. Jane Austen. I would like to read some of Jane Austen. I used to own all her books. I had to get rid of all my books when I moved, but I would like to read some of those. I think the ones I most want to read are Emma and Persuasion and what's the other one? Not Northanger Abbey. What's the I can't think of what it's called. Not Persuasion. Anyways, there's a few I want to read of hers. I want to read all of them eventually. Then Lucille Montgomery. As I said, I wanted to read Anne of Green Gables. I would like to also read the Emily of New Moon books and any other books I have of hers that I would love to read. I do have all of her books and short stories in a collection on my e-reader, so I would like to read those. Charles Dickens. I would like to read Great Expectations, and I would like to read not A Tale of Two Cities. I kind of want to read A Tale of Two Cities, but I'd also like to read Oliver Twist, and I'd like to read more of him. So I would like to read that. Louisa May Alcott. I would love to read Little Women and Little Men. Leo Tolstoy. I would like to read Anna Karenina and War and Peace. Mary Higgins Clark. Now, I've read quite a few of Mary Higgins Clark's books. She is a mystery writer, and I would like to read more books of hers. Sophia Kinsella, she writes rom-coms, and I would like to read more of hers. She does have the Shopaholic series, which I'm not including in the series list because I like her standalones better than the Shopaholic series, so I would like to read some of her standalones. She did just come out with a new book called Party Crasher I would like to read. Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab. Again, I didn't put her in the series category. She does have a couple series out and duologies I would like to read. But she did come out with, what's it called? My favorite book this year, probably. And I can't even think of what it's called. The book she came out with. I can't think of what it's called. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. That's it. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm hoping she'll come out with another one soon. I don't know if she will. But if not, I want to read her backlist series. Pam Jenoff. Now, just a hint, just a clue here. I am doing a themed video on Pam Jenoff. She is a historical fiction author, and I'm reading all of her books. So I will be coming out with a video talking about all of her books. So you can look forward to that. But I do want to read all of her books. I believe she has 8 books out. 7 or 8. Kristen Hanna, who wrote The Nightingale. I would like to read more of her books. And Kristen Hanna is a historical fiction. Agatha Christie is the queen of suspense, and I would like to read more of hers. And particularly her Hercule Poirot books. I like him better than the Miss Marple books, but I would like to read quite a few of them the next year. Next is Debbie Maycomber. I have read quite a few of her books, but I'd like to read more of hers. Peter Swanson, I would like to read more of his suspense or thriller novels. I've read one of them, The 8 Perfect Murders. I would like to read more of his. Ruth Ware is another suspense novelist. I have not read any of her books. I do have one signed up from the library now, The Turn of the Key, and I would like to read more of her books. And number 19 and 20, Emily Bronte and Anne Bronte. So those are 2 of the 3 Bronte sisters I would like to read more of. Emily Bronte, of course, wrote Wuthering Heights, and Anne Bronte wrote a few books. I'm not sure which one she wrote. I get them all mixed up, so I do want to read more of hers. And then, of course, there's Charlotte Bronte, who wrote Jane Eyre. I would like to read more of hers as well, but that would make 21, so. And then the third list of 2 is books that I want to start and finish the series this year. So, I believe someone is doing a Ken Follett series read-along next year. I'm not going to say who, but that booktuber will be putting out a video soon, and I believe that they are going to announce it. I don't know for sure, but if they do, I want to do the Ken Follett series. Now, it does have a name for the series. I don't know what the series name is. I would like to read them. They're by Ken Follett, and I have no idea what they're about. I just want to read them because I've heard good things about them. I believe they're historical fiction, and they're chunky books, and I want to read them. So that one, if they do the read-along, I'm going to join in on that. And then the second book is the Fursuit Trilogy by Robin Hobbs. I have heard so many things about this series, and I really want to get started on it, so I want to read the Fursuit Trilogy. So that is a fantasy series. It's an epic fantasy. I really want to get into fantasy, so I want to read that one. And that is it. That's my 3 lists. I hope you enjoyed this, and give me a thumbs up if you did, and join in on the 2022 Series About Series Challenge. Again, I will link the announcement video of Lizzie Phillips' books in the description box below. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a great day, and God bless you in all you do. Bye.